Welcome to the Florida Rant. Occasionally I get asked to explain a location like I would a friend, not with a bunch of stats, not a bunch of real estate prices, and definitely not like a real estate agent or a state politician would explain the place. Basically, the truth in plain English. So today I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't move to Florida, and I'm going to explain it to you as if you're my friend. Okay? Here we go.
Florida, you're a mess, I swear. From the Keys to the Panhandle, it's everywhere. They say sunshine, but I see stress. Tax hikes, red tape, no progress. Florida, you're a nightmare. Policies that make me snarl and snipe. Why can't they get it right? Florida, you're a sight.
So you're thinking about moving to Florida. That's cute. Let me pour some iced tea at the temperature of bath water and tell you a little story about a person just like you, wide-eyed, sun-hungry, and blissfully unaware of what humidity can do to the human soul. We'll call this brave newcomer you. Because after 5 minutes in the Sunshine State, everyone's the main character in their own survival documentary. You land, you step out of the airport, and the air feels like you are in a sauna that doesn't have an exit. It's fine, you say. I'll acclimate to it. You won't. You just need to get better at pretending it doesn't bother you. Your glasses will fog, your deodorant will file for workman's comp, and your hair discovers new forms of geometry. Welcome to Florida, where the weather app is mostly performance art and the heat index has its own personality disorder. Summer days are the worst, obviously, but nighttime offers no relief. It's just daytime with fewer witnesses. But you didn't come here for the meteorology, did you? You came for the low cost of living, a phrase Florida treats the way a theme park treats lines, with impressive marketing and absolutely no accountability. Sure, there's no state income tax, that's nice, and that's kind of what they'd say on a brochure, but the rest of the magazine is fees. Tolls every 6 miles, surprise HOA assessment, garbage pickup that costs more than just about any other state, and insurance bills that are about as scary as a Stephen King novel about a homicidal zombie spider clown. Your property insurance has become a thing of nightmares in recent years. The national average yearly insurance premium in the United States is about $2,408 for a $300,000 home. In Florida, it's $5,761. That's $3,353 above the national average. The only two higher than that are Nebraska, for some reason, at $6,366, and Louisiana at $6,274. Why on earth are people paying that kind of money for homeowners insurance in Nebraska? I don't understand that one at all, but that's what's happening. And before you ask, California, because everyone's all, it's cheaper than California. No, it's not. The average in California is $1,632. If you want a video where I rank all 50 states by homeowners insurance, let me know in the comment section. If your roof is older than a Labradoodle, your premium skyrockets. If you live near a breeze and water exists anywhere in the county, congratulations. You also need flood insurance, windstorm coverage, and a deductible so large it should come with a commemorative shovel. At renewal time, your insurer might ghost you like a bad date. Then you meet the state's insurer of last resort, which feels a lot like a relationship based on, we both know why we're here, don't we? About your roof on that new home, you'll learn the phrase 4-point inspection. It's like a Hogwarts spell. Meanwhile, billboards scream, hurt in a storm? Call us every 6 feet. Florida has more attorneys per stoplight than some towns have stoplights. And they're not shy. Lawsuit culture here is like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Car accident, slip and fall, mosquitoes look at you the wrong way, there's a number to call. People sue insurance companies sue roofers sue the weather doesn't show up in court because it's busy shredding your patio furniture. Everyone's got a story and 3 cousins in litigation. They are absolutely sue happy in Florida. It's one of the worst in the country. California's pretty bad. Florida beats them. with lawsuits, and it's all slip and fall. It's really weird. And part of the reason the insurance is so high in Florida is because of roofing. There was this thing where roofers found out that the state will pay for a new roof. So they would just go door to door. Want a new roof? It doesn't cost you a dime. You just fill out this paperwork. We'll take care of everything from there. So it was basically an insurance claim. And the insurance companies couldn't really fight it or anything like that, so it just drove up insurance prices. Now, I know they've been going back and forth, and they may have solved it by now to a degree, but for a long time there, it really messed up Florida. I read this whole thing on it. It was a while back, but basically roofing was a major part of the insurance rates going through the roof in Florida. I mean, hurricanes don't help either, but... So you start house hunting. You get on Zillow, you start looking for a place that's a real steal, but it's in an HOA. And in HOAs, they say strange stuff like, put that idea back where you found it. You can't paint your front door the wrong shade of beige without the Spanish Inquisition. You want a mailbox that shows personality? Not here, rebel scum. Conformity in all HOAs in Florida. I kind of talked about this in an HOA video I did not too long ago. The reason Florida and so many other states are really into HOAs now is because it saves them tax money. Because if the sidewalk is all chewed up in your HOA, the HOA is going to pay for it, not the city. You need everything resurfaced, the streets, the roads, whatever. City's not going to pay for that. The HOA is. You're paying the HOA to actually pay for these things. It's just they just put the burden back on the people. The cost of housing here, well, supply met demand, and then they eloped to a different state. Renters watch their leases renew like a high-stakes game show. Homeowners in Florida are now looking at the prices and thinking, maybe those Minnesota winters aren't that bad after all. The average Florida home value in 2019 was $244,000. In 2025, that's $396,000 after peaking in April of 2024 at $405,000. That's like all the stats you're going to get. Now, I get it. That's not the worst in the country, but it's almost like you went into a Dollar General and found out everything is $5. Now, if you made it this far and you're still interested in Florida, you should know about the roads because eventually you will meet Interstate 4, a highway that has never once been finished. Interstate 4 has a theme, and that theme is purgatory. Every day it tries to grow up to be something else, but fails majestically. Toll roads are everywhere. You'll learn the sun pass dance, which is like regular driving, except you forfeit small amounts of money to keep your car moving. If you make it from point A to point B without paying a toll, they call that a Florida miracle. Now let's talk about inflation because it's getting worse and worse in Florida. I mean, it's getting worse throughout the country, but Florida, it's getting really bad. Groceries cost a lot more than they did 3 years ago, and it's still going up every single month. Electricity bills show up with the energy of a plot twist. Everything that needs to be cooled, refrigerated, dried costs more, which is to say everything. You'll buy a dehumidifier for your bedroom, a second one for your closet, and then one for your soul. You'll start wrapping your bread like it's going scuba diving. Mold is the unofficial state flower in Florida. Caulk becomes your love language. And that wasn't something dirty. I'm talking about the caulk that goes around your windows and your bathtub, all that. Get your minds out of the gutter. Healthcare in Florida is a choose-your-own-adventure book where every ending is please hold. In winter, every snowbird arrives with their medical records, and the waiting rooms look like airport gates for people with neck pillows and opinions on everything. Primary care visits happen on a lunar cycle. Specialist suggests a date that sounds like a retirement plan. Hospital access varies widely by zip code, which you'll discover the day you really want the good antibiotics. The ER is a social mixer for people who slip on tile they cleaned with a product designed to lubricate bowling lanes. So you want to get a job in Florida? If you're in hospitality, congratulations, you're in the state's economy. If you don't work in hospitality, congratulations, you still depend on it. Tourism is Florida's lifeblood, but it's fickle. A big storm hits, a travel warning gets loud, a new ride breaks down, or someone posts a viral video of a man wrestling an alligator with flip-flops, and suddenly your neighbor's hours get cut, your friend's restaurant retools its concept, and the local news shifts to a permanent state of, coming up next, how to survive a downturn in the economy. The economy is a roller coaster designed by a committee that forgot its seatbelts. When it's good, it's great. When it's not, you learn how to stretch shrimp into a week of recipes. Severe weather isn't just an event here, it's programming. Afternoon thunderstorms arrive on schedule like a soap opera. Thunder, lightning, applause, credits. Lightning is Florida's version of confetti. Hurricanes are the season finale nobody asked for. You're suddenly an amateur meteorologist living in a danger zone. You'll be boarding up your windows and then taping in different patterns that experts say don't make a difference. But it makes your heart feel busy, so you're happy about it. You'll fill your bathtub, you'll charge the battery packs, and you'll buy water like you're opening up a car wash that doesn't have a hose, and you'll get in a fist fight over the last generator with a man named Ray who believes tarps are a personality trait. If a storm hits, you wake up, and your backyard is now a lake named after you. If it misses, you own 400 cans of tuna and a sudden respect for wind. Between storms, the air grows algae. Red tide shows up and says, your beach day is canceled. And that, if you've never been around red tide, it sort of smells like a fish market dumpster. You know, you were promised turquoise waters when going down to Florida, but what you got was tomato soup that smells really bad. Wildlife here is, let's say, confident. Alligators pretend retention ponds are their living rooms. Snakes rehearse in your shrubs. Iguanas fall out of trees when it gets cold, which is kind of like Florida's version of snowfall. The mosquitoes are unionized and the union is in good standing. Now, oddly enough, Florida's not the worst state for mosquitoes. You would think it is, and most people assume that is. In my experience, one of the worst states for mosquitoes is Michigan. Oh my God, the summer, the mosquitoes, it's freaking horrible. They've got way too much standing water. Now, Florida has a lot too, but there's just something going on in Michigan. It's like, I don't know. It's horrible. I've been to Florida many times. I've been to Michigan a few times. Michigan wins. So you're probably wondering about politics. Think of Florida as a Thanksgiving table that never ends. Half the state arrives to talk about freedom, while the other half builds a PowerPoint about consequences, and everyone is armed with yard signs. School boards become gladiator arenas. County commissions get spicy. Your favorite brewery declares a stance on something you thought was off the menu, and suddenly happy hour is a debate club with pretzels. Political polarization here isn't new, but it's exceptionally athletic. You'll learn to discuss the weather, wildlife, and which Publix subs are the least soggy. And then you'll go home and lock your door. Speaking of Publix, the grocery store will sell you a chicken tender sub that makes you forget your problems for 7 minutes or so. The grocery stores in Florida are a little weird, and people are heavily into Publix, it seems like. I miss the old days of the South where every place had a Piggly Wiggly. I don't even think those things are out anymore or open. I think they shut down all of them. Let's talk about the water quality. Water quality is a never-ending plot twist here. Some days it smells faintly like coins. Other days it's like boiled eggs, and occasionally like someone tried to brew coffee in a tire. You will invest in a lot of different filters for your sink, for your pool, for your bathtub. Filters are important here in Florida because their water quality sucks. Now, there's another thing you need to know about. It's wet, it's humid, and there's a lot of salt air, so everything metal you own is going to get rusty, including your car. Now, if you got kids, you're going to be worried about the education here. Now, they've got great schools, mediocre schools, and a whole bunch of underfunded schools. Now, you might be thinking, but the beaches. Yes, the beaches exist, and they are pretty when they're not actively trying to exfoliate the paint off your car with wind-blown sand. On a good day, the water is postcard worthy, and you'll briefly understand why people live here. On a bad day, the jellyfish hold conventions, and the UV index plays chicken with your epidermis. Now, if you still want to come to Florida, you'll need a plan that's more than, I love palm trees. Budget like they taught you in some freshman year basic math class. Factor in your insurance that jumps taller than you. If you're buying, get a roof that's younger than your favorite sitcom. If you're renting, prepare for yearly price hikes that feel like a limited time offer from a supervillain. When you choose a neighborhood, visit at 4:45 p.m. just to get a feel for the place. See how the traffic is. See how the people are when they're off work. Explore, but pay attention. Confirm your healthcare network in writing, store water like you're launching a submarine, learn the difference between a watch and a warning, and how to open a can with your car keys. Keep cash on hand because ATMs like to take naps during storms. Buy a cooler, you'll use it more than your oven. If you do land in Florida, make peace with the critters. Everything here either bites, stings, itches, or flies. Don't feed the alligators unless you enjoy headlines. If a lizard runs into your house, it's legally your new roommate. If your yard backs up to a pond, that pond also backs up to you. Keep your small dogs on leashes unless you're running a raptor rescue program. And please, brace yourself for the conversations that always detour into culture war subjects in Florida. Learn the art of nodding without agreeing. Keep your social media private and your neighborhood opinions in a locked box guarded by a raccoon with a degree in conflict resolution. You can live here and be sane, but you must do it like a cat in a bathtub, alert, strategic, and with an exit route. Florida is beautiful and ridiculous. It's a postcard stapled to a weather alert. It's sunsets and sirens, flip-flops and insurance adjusters, palm trees and paperwork. People thrive here, but no one coasts. The sun is relentless, the rules are flexible, and the bills are theoretical. And storms show up like an ex who just happened to be in the neighborhood. If you're thinking of moving, don't bring a fantasy. Bring a spreadsheet, a surge protector, and a tolerance for chaos, and a sense of humor that can survive on canned tuna and warm Gatorade. You'll need all four. If after hearing this, you're still planning on joining the Florida party, have your medication checked, because something ain't right. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.